Well, would you look at that? It's only 2 videos in, and we're at 44%. So to slow down the series and make sure it doesn't end too soon, what we're going to do is I'm going to very, very slowly scroll through all of the enemy cards, and then we're going to have about 10 hours of footage, uncut, of me going through and just replaying level 1 over and over to get all of them. So let's start with Scud. Scud. Okay, no. So, anyway, let's see where I left off. So this was the level that had the eponymous shaft climb of the Dagobah system. Not a single one of those words was accurate. Well, I guess shaft kind of was. And then people will be like, but, okay. Why am I even going after the little stars? I don't need those. So, how about them Knicks? No. Not a whole lot been going on to really talk about. Since pretty much these videos always just kind of turn into a shitty vlog, and when I don't really do much, it becomes difficult to talk about much. But I suppose I will at least briefly, I say briefly now, watch as this becomes like a 20-minute discussion. Can I use this to swim? I keep forgetting I need to try like using the enemies to see what they do. This does seem to give me more horizontal mobility. No, maybe not. It's hard to tell. But so it is no secret that I am not particularly good at Smash, and I have wanted to be for a while. And don't worry, this story is not going in a direction that you expect. I'm not actually trying to become better at it. Don't you worry. I'm still bad. But one of the reasons that I always cite for this is that I've played the series for forever, but pretty much everything I ever do in it is always just single-player stuff, so I don't really learn any of the advanced techniques. I don't really know how to do mind game type stuff. I'm not good at predicting. I'm basically just good at predicting AI, which is a totally different thing. And whenever I try to play online, it always goes poorly because everybody else that I play against is way better, and I just get frustrated easily and kind of don't bother. Which, if I did want to get better, the solution would be to actually stick with that and not just get annoyed and give up, because that's not going to teach me anything. And I never really have anybody to play with casually, because Joel has the same problem that I do, which is that he has very little experience with the game in general, including single player, so what little ability I do have at the game is enough for me to outclass him, and it just becomes a frustrating experience. We have attempted to work on changing that. Last week, he basically kind of made the commitment to, like, you know, I'm going to learn this game, I'm going to get better at it, and like it's going to probably take some like sweat and tears, but we're going to try this. And so I was perfectly on board with that. And so we just kind of started off with basic, just kind of one-on-one stuff, and it went about as well as I would have expected, where I just won every single match, and it wasn't even that I was like trying super hard. It was just, it's kind of annoying, because I know that sucks, and I don't want to be the asshole who wins every single match either. So it's like, I don't know how to fix that. So we've just kind of like looked up a few videos on like basics, and not the advanced stuff yet, but like the kind of moderate stuff. And even the moderate stuff is stuff that I didn't know about necessarily, because it's like watching this video of like going over the basics, and it's like to To perform a quick ledge trump, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, so... There's been issues... Like, I'm gonna... Oh, fuck. I'm gonna go into probably more detail than necessary on some of this, just because I like giving specific examples. But, can we please get the power up again? So, yeah. These water currents are, moderately annoying. So, God, what was I even gonna say? Like, so a bad habit of mine, we'll use this as an example. A bad habit of mine is, usually, like, competitive players, people who know what the hell they're doing, are able to make good use of the right analog stick. So, like, the C stick if you're playing Melee or whatever. And for me, I never got in the habit of doing that, because when I played Melee when I was younger, like, when the game was... I hate to say relevant, because people still play it now, but, like, when it was the only one that anyone played, I would usually do single-player stuff, as usual, and the C-stick does not do anything in single-player, so I never got into the habit of ever really using it. In that game, it was, you could use it for smash attacks, which I never really cared about doing, but it's also used for aerials, and that can be helpful in some instances. And when I played Brawl, I did it with the Wiimote Nunchuck, so that didn't have that option. And then by the time Smash 4 came out, which I'd usually play on the gamepad, that had the stick, but I would not use it just because I'm so trained to not bother, pretty much. And so it's something that I should get into the habit to do, because I have the controls set to be tilt on right stick, because I don't... Another one of my bad habits is I tend to just kind of spam smash attacks instead of, like, actually trying to be smart and use the faster moves when it's more appropriate to do that. And so I don't use tilt moves as often as I should, that kind of stuff. This level fucking sucks, Jesus. And so I kind of mentioned that as one of the first things, like, hey, you should set this to, like, set the stick to this, don't get into the bad habit that I did, like, actually try to make use of this. And it hasn't really gone well, just due to the nature of the controller not necessarily being set up all that great for it. Like, trying to quickly move your finger from jumping with X or Y to using the stick to perform a, like, air attack, it doesn't, it's not very natural, and it kind of just led to a lot more, like, dying than necessary, and so eventually I'm like, yeah, maybe don't do that. And so now it's basically just kind of turned into, let me teach you my bad habits, and like, he's gotten better. And it's gotten to a point where, like, he does beat me sometimes, but I still feel like an asshole when I win, and I don't know. Not really much to say on that. Like, beef. I would like the beef, but we're not getting the beef. Like, he's been basically trying to stick with a small number of characters, like Cloud is the main one, and I'll usually just end up kind of picking the random button, and if I get a character that I suck with and still win anyway, or if I get, like, Cloud or Fox or whatever he's using, which he's been practicing with for, like, the past 3 hours and I never use, and then I still win, I'm like, well, what the fuck? So, fuck, there was a crystal there, wasn't there? This fucking current, oh my god. I'm gonna have to restart this level. I mean, I'm gonna get a game over, really, is what's gonna happen here, but, it's like Okay, well, let's stick to the bottom, because I think that's where the thing is. Can I inhale these small rocks? Yes. I should have probably done that from the beginning. Oh, that doesn't actually give me the stone ability. I figured it would. Okay. Well, let's just kind of hang out down here and hope for the best, because I'm pretty sure the crystal was in a hole in the bottom. I couldn't really see, though. But yeah, that's about all I'm going to say on that subject, because it basically just amounts to, I'm not good at the game, but I'm still good enough to win more often than not, and that is annoying. because neither of us are really learning anything. But I'm still kind of having fun with it, at least, so... We'll see if anything comes of that. I could play against people in the server more often, but online is not always the most functional, unfortunately. Alright, so, are we gonna game over against the whale? Because I did remember it was a whale. I like how it's pretty much just straight up just an orca. Like, it's more squashed than an actual one, but it doesn't really have any kind of massively cartoony features to it. It's just a whale. People are like, oh my god, they're not actually whales, they're part of the dolphin family, did you know that? I bet you didn't know that. As usual, my impressions of YouTube comments are impeccable. That was surprising that hit. In other news, I died. No. In other news, for the first time in forever, insert Frozen reference here, I'm trying to focus on the battle and not necessarily talk, but I don't remember if this happened between the previous video and this one, or if it actually happened before the last one, but there's finally been, like, discussion in the BA3 channel on Discord, and the discussion is essentially just kind of me saying that, like, yeah, I've not touched this game in fucking forever, I really need to, and I kind of laid down some plans for things that I should be working on, and received a pretty good amount of help, actually. James and Autumn both made sample maps for the cave level that I want to do, and I can definitely use that at least as a base. I've been offered to get some help with, like, midis and that kind of thing, so it really just comes down to me needing to actually have the motivation to open the program and start working on it. I briefly and possibly somewhat naively believed that I might actually do some of that today. It's day off, and I figured, like, hey, maybe if maybe I could even stream it, and that'll kind of give me motivation to work on it a bit, and that ended up not happening. So, as usual, that continues to be a thing that I need to do. This is a boss fight. I can say that much for certain. It's definitely not the most mobile I've ever been in a video game. Okay. Why did that fish just explode? Okay, one more hit. And there we go. Okay, we did not game over at the whale. I think it has a name beginning with A, and I remember this because I think it was towards the beginning of the sticker sheet in Brawl. I don't actually remember what its name is, though, so I'm just gonna call it Mushu. Everyone stares at Adeline as she throws a rock. Kirby was never seen again. Okay, maybe he was seen again. And they're just like, bye, fuck you. We're going to Disneyland. Okay, I'm not sure what the theming of this place is. Without looking at any of the levels, it looks vaguely forested. And that's about all I can say about it. The music apparently means business, though. Okay, so jungle. I'd like to add I am still not particularly a fan of the D-pad on this controller. It's a hell of a lot better than the D-pad on the GameCube, which is like the size of a small D-pad on a GameCube controller. But sorry, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have. Oh, okay. Maybe I just haven't played a game with a D-pad in a long time, and it's making my finger itch. I don't know. I feel like I have to press down the button harder than I actually do. Okay, let's please. If we get this, we can get the extra life, and okay. Now we're not gonna get a game over yet. We're still probably gonna get one, don't get me wrong. What would it be like if there were some head-do's? And there's our first instance of breaking into useless song. Alright, well, we're well acquainted with... Oh, god damn it. We're well acquainted with this ability, but I like it because I can just turn into a burb and then say fuck it to the entire level, and it works pretty well. Also, there's a Sangwedge. Sangwedge is good. Except, it blended in with the background because of the low resolution. I could barely even tell it was there. Oh my god, what? Oh. Apparently that killed the spider. Okay, become bird, open spike. Oh, okay. See, I had to check. I was figuring it was spikes, but, I like how you just kind of have to check all of them, and you're just probably going to die in the process. Here, I will be slow bird. I will not actually be slow bird. And what exactly are you? You're a pterodactyl. Okay, go down for crystal. Go down for other crystal. And there are vines, apparently. Am I the only one who, like, plays games with, like... What would you call it? The knuckle? Like, because the knuckle's on the outside, but, like, the opposite side of the knuckle. Like, I always tend to use that instead of my fingertip. I know I've probably talked about this before. I just... That's how I've always played games my entire life, and it leads to, like, less dexterity than usual, I guess. Like, I don't know. I can't train myself to actually use, like, the, like, pad of, like, the tip of my thumb, basically. It feels wrong. Depending on the controller, what I usually end up doing is just kind of setting my finger between several buttons and then just rocking it back and forth as needed. Which is why I hate it when, So, like, again, this is a complaint I've made before. I don't remember what game it was for when I talked about this, but, in, like, Super Nintendo games, let's use, like, Mario World and Donkey Kong Country and Kirby as an example. You usually jump with B instead of A, and the reason for that is because on the controller, B is on the bottom, and so it's kind of like the primary button, even though you'd think A would be, just based on the fact that it's A. And then you have run, or shoot, or whatever on Y, so it's at a diagonal, like, up-left angle. You can put your thumb on both buttons, and you can hold Y while pressing B, and it makes sense. Why is it that in, like, the DS era, and every system since that's had the same, like, 4 buttons arranged in a diamond format, they always insist on putting jump on A, even though it's kind of awkward to do that. Like, you have to... It doesn't work. I don't know why they fucking do that. It's like they do it in Zelda, too, where you have, like, on the N64 controller, you have the sword on B, and that makes sense, because that's where the tip of your thumb is, in, like, the standard resting position. But then they kept it on B for, like, the 3DS remakes, and, like, it's just... It doesn't work that way. Like, it does, it's not awful, but it would be better to have it on Y. I don't know. I've seen like, there was a Brawl in the Family comic that pointed this out, coincidentally using Is it Adeline or Adeline? I don't know how you say her name, the painter. Like, from this game, like, she was in that strip, but... That's just me complaining that, my Vidya games are not, hydrodynamically designed! No, I have no idea. Okay, breather thing. And... Wait, was there... Okay. See, I saw the bar on the bottom filling up. I'm like, what, is there a second boss that spawned in? No. I'm still missing one of the crystals, right? I think I only got 2 in this level. Actually, did I even... Yeah, I got 2. Okay, so... This log did not fall down. I'm fully expecting one of them to at some point. I'm going to attempt to not be... a vine blind, and I'm going to look at the bottom of the screen and make sure that I do not miss the point when there is a crystal on the bottom of the screen that is clearly visible, and then I overlook it like fucking Trouser from Ukulele. I'm also kind of looking at the top. It could be behind the foliage. I've probably already missed it. Was it here? No. Nope, there it is, okay. There, I didn't vine blind. Oh no! Hotel! Yeah, just random hotel, for no reason. Alright, let's get the explanation. I called that the because in the Great Cave Offensive, there is a treasure called the Ichigo candy, and I always called it the Echligo candy for some reason when I was a kid, because I didn't know what the fuck Ichigo meant. It's Japanese for strawberry, right? I don't know. But, well, that last section didn't really need to exist, I suppose. Alright, well, guess what? Now that I'm pointing it out, I was gonna say, we haven't had a level yet where I've had to, like, leave and get an ability from a different level and come back. And now that I've said it, it's, more or less guaranteed that I'm gonna have to do that. Hopefully when it does happen, it'll be an ability combination that I've not used yet. Because, I don't remember what I've not used. If I, oh. Okay, I guess I was supposed to go down here. Hello, Donkey Kong Country. If I wanted to, I could, like, right now, just go through every single possible combination of abilities in my head, and say, like, what they are and if I've seen them yet, but, that sounds boring and bad, so I'm not gonna do that. Shit, I probably needed to be on that upper one. Yes, I did! Good burp. He's really falling like a rock. Hey, Mario. I like how the instrument in this song sounds like someone going, ba, ba, ba. I feel like this song was probably in a Mario 64 hack that I've played. I don't remember, but it's a, wow, I fucked it up again. I am very good at Babby Game. Yeah. Oh, fuck it, just go. I like the, not very long sequence here of being pushed in the cart before you have any control over it. It lasts like 5 seconds, but it's long enough to be annoying when I have to restart. Okay, so... This time, we're not going to jump until I actually need to jump, because I am a human being with a functioning brain. I can learn from my mistakes, and I can remember things for longer than 2 seconds. Look at that. So wait, what was I remembering for longer than 2 seconds? I already forgot. very much hoping that this isn't the whole level, because if it is, I'm probably going to miss the third one and then have to redo it again, but, I mean, whatever. Now see, if this was like Donkey Kong Country 2, there would have been a DK coin, like, in that ceiling there that's very, like, barely visible for maybe about 2 frames. Or not visible at all, and so I would have just had to keep jumping to find it by accident. But luckily, this is not that game. Although I do like that game. I would say that I've been oh, you can't even stand on top of those. Okay. I would say I've been I would say I've been tempted to replay it, but that's kind of a lie. It's more just I've heard some songs from it recently. Like, someone at work that usually plays video game music has a playlist with, like, a bunch of remixes and stuff, and, he had the, like, can we not? I forget what the name of the song is, but it's the one from, like, the Haunted Woods levels. He had that song, he had, Sticker Brush Symphony, Aquatic Ambience, that kind of stuff, and, those are all good songs. Aquatic Ambience is not DKC 2, that's the first game, but whatever. Now, a game that I surprisingly have been wanting to actually replay, or more accurately, just kind of, like, pick up again, is, Hyrule Warriors, actually. Because, Animal Crossing is, right around the corner here, and I am looking forward to playing that. I have never stuck with an Animal Crossing game for as long as I would have liked. I did kind of for the original GameCube one. I think I caught all the fish and bugs in that game, and I mean, I repaid the debt and everything, but I never got, like, everything. And I don't consider, like, a full, catalog in the store, like, getting everything, because that's probably a bit too much. I wouldn't mind it if it wasn't just a massive luck-based grind fest, but I'm not gonna necessarily do that. But, like, I've never completed a museum, and that was always kind of my goal. That was just a Manaphy egg to go with the Manaphy enemies we've been seeing earlier, so that was good. But yeah, it's like I played New Leaf a decent amount with Martin when we were, like, the couple months before we moved to Tegis. And after living here for a little while. Man, I really need to get a better ability than just stone. I feel like every one of these levels has said like, stone and maybe cutter, and that's it. But, yeah, like, I played a fair amount of that, but I didn't actually stick with it for a full year, so I didn't even get to see all the seasons. This game, I'd kind of like to change that. Even if I don't play it every single day, I can at least make it a point to kind of, like, pick it up maybe once or twice a week. And Joel's getting it, and Martin's getting it, and I don't know if anybody else is. By anybody else, I just mean letters, because, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, the whole thing with that game, like, the town being tied to the system is just kind of stupid. But, I mean, I've been needing to get my own system for forever anyway. I really just need to kind of find out what goes into transferring a profile over, and if it takes all save files or only certain games. Like, I don't know if the Smash stuff will transfer. I don't know how downloadable games and, like, DLC works with the transfer, so I might end up losing a bunch of shit, but I kind of needed my own system anyway, and if I get one, then that would be an excuse for me to also pick up a couple games for it, and I could get the, like, definitive Hyrule Warriors, because I did like that game on the Wii U. It got grindy, and I stopped playing it after a while, but I've just been in the mood for something stupid and mindless to play, and that kind of fits the bill. Then I can actually start playing Hollow Knight again. Thought about picking up Cuphead, trying that out. Who knows, I might even touch a spider. I was going to say something that was obviously not true. So, like, who knows? I might even get Fire Emblem, but I'm not, and I don't even want to entertain that thought for people because then they'll want me to do it. So, no. Okay, so where the hell is the third crystal? Because I'm looking for it. I'm going through this level very slowly and tediously. And, what does lightning and, cutter give you? I've probably seen it already, I just don't remember. Oh. Actually, did I see this one? I know I've seen the Flame Sword. I don't remember if I saw that one. Bomb and Rock. That's the, is that Dynamite? No, Dynamite is Bomb and Fire, right? Or is, no, that's Fireworks. What the hell is, what is that one? Is that the Dynamite? Because I already used the Dynamite for a puzzle in a different level. I don't remember what that one is. It probably is that. Okay, so we get to, go get those abilities then. Oh no, not the pile of Manaphy eggs. Whatever will I do? Man, just think what it would be like if it was actually this easy to get them, and that you didn't have to buy a new, like, unused copy of Pokemon Ranger, or find some way to, like, totally clear the data on one in order to get it. Alternatively, you could get my Pokemon Ranch, fuck off, which is no longer available because you can't access the Wii eShop anymore. But you could get my Pokemon Ranch and put 500 things in it, just so that you can get the poor man's version of Manaphy. The poor Manaphy's version, if you will. Man, I love just being nudged by a thing and taking damage. Immediately gets shot at and takes damage. Yeah, at this point I have to just finish the level and then get the abilities and then come back and replay like 80% of the stage, and it'll be fun. Uses level and stage interchangeably in the same sentence. I should start calling them maps and boards next. Or zones, or courses, or acts. What other terms are there? I still think that it's weird when people call them boards. I love when the levels just end. With no kind of fanfare. Alright, well, let's, go ahead and do that stuff I said I needed to do, and I'll be back in 17 micro years. Okay, so 17 micro years later, here we are. I definitely enjoyed having this as my ability throughout the entire level, because it is kind of ass. But anyway, there we go. Let's keep that ability for as long as possible. I don't know what that pronunciation was, or that pronunciation. No, you know what? Screw this ability. It sucks and it's bad, and I hate it, and it's bad and it sucks. I don't know why I threw one of these. I meant to get rid of the ability. Okay, so we're gonna combine Needle with, what is Needle and Rock again? That's right. Okay, this is a cool one. I'll stick with this. What would it be? What would it be if Champ... Not every song has to be What Would It Be Like If House, but it's a crowd pleaser. But is it actually, though? How can I be sure that my entire life isn't just a lie? And that secretly I've been just someone else's nose this entire time. What the fuck did I even mean? Okay, see, I thought that one was... I couldn't actually tell if that was orange or brown, but the one I have is a mix of both, so it worked either way. No, actually, let me reveal the true mindset there, because I couldn't tell if it was red or brown. Because for a second, I thought it looked orange, and I'm like, there's no orange ability in this game. Even though I literally have it right now, and it's displayed on the bottom of the screen, and I wasn't paying attention. So, that's just me being good at the things that I do. So I learned today that apparently chicken and corn is a good combination on pizza in, like, the UK. And also, there is at least one specific Pizza Hut that has a lot more shit than I do. That's all I'm going to say on that subject. If I say any more, it will implicate me. No, it won't at all. Implicate me in what, you say? I don't know. Probably something to do with, like, root beer. It's usually root beer. You gotta jump in every pit! You never know, except I'm kind of looking to the side and hoping that there's anything in one of these that I'll be able to see it, but it's always kind of hard to tell, because it's just barely off camera. At least this one I can tell. This is, not the most fun way to play a video game, but I'm no stranger to... First of all, no stranger to love, know the rules, etc., etc., but no stranger to playing video games in a very non-fun way. That pretty much explains why I had a bad time with Pokemon Gen 7 and 8. Because I just kind of make it bad for myself, because I'm like, hey, you know what would be fun? Spending 20 hours grinding out low encounter rate stuff instead of, like, playing the game and having fun with it. Nah, we gotta find that 1% Salamence encounter. It's important. God, I fucking hated SOS chaining. Large Curb. Brought to you by Large Curb. Brought to you by Bet Boy. Brought to you by Bet Boy. Top Hat. Okay. Is this the block thing? God, it is. Okay. So let's do this the way that I think it should be done. Like, I'm not gonna try to recreate this thing perfectly, like the angle on the brim at the bottom and everything. I'm going to assume that it should look something like this. We're gonna get rid of these. It's probably one more narrow than this, but we're gonna try it this way first. Yeah. Okay, let's do one more. And... fuck. I freaking knew that was gonna happen. This is not correct, is it? This is too narrow. This does not look right, but let's make sure. No, okay. Is the brim only supposed to be one tall? Like, I don't know how you're supposed to know. That's the problem. No, okay. So let's do this. Keep the brim one tall, but make this only like that. Dude, come on. If this doesn't work, then I'm gonna just try a bunch of shit and I guess cut back if I get it. No, okay, that did it. Now there's more of these, right? Because I remember there being like more advanced shapes that you had to do in some kind of factory level. But I might just be misremembering that and confusing it with the level that we did earlier that was like the different symbol, like the buttons with the different symbols that you had to light up the room to see. Because I think when I was mentioning like vague memories I had of the game, I kind of combined those two anyway. So, I don't know. Maybe there will be a screen where I have to draw a golden marmoset out of blocks. Maybe there will be a screen where I have to force my only black friend to build a city out of blocks. Alright, so let me explain that one. That was a reference to, nothing. But, it's a reference to nothing in the same sense that, put on your shoes, then put on your socks. And, oh, but I do not know what is a feature repair. How those were references to nothing. It is not from the same book from the Creepy Tower that those things were. It was from a different book that I had that was just, like, a bunch of activities that you could do that were, like, space-related. I don't... Oh, okay. Jumping down holes actually helped. So that was the last one. So, I had a pretty big interest in, like, outer space stuff when I was a kid, and I had this book that was basically just random, like, crafts or games or activities that you could do that were related to space. And one of them was... Oh, let me look the plot. Oh, say Kirby. One of them was, like... It was demonstrating, like, how... I don't know if it was supposed to be, like, how radar works, because I don't think it was that, but it was something along those lines. Oh, good jump, Kirby. It was supposed to demonstrate, like, the way that they would determine the altitude of things on, like, other planets using sensory equipment. And so the idea was, like, you put up a vertical, like, kind of like a cardboard wall, and then you have somebody, like, build a cityscape out of blocks on one side of the wall, and you don't see what it looks like. And then you, like, tie a rubber eraser on a string and, like, lower it over the other side of the wall to, like, stop on the blocks. And then you can determine, like, where it stopped by how much string is remaining, basically. And so, like, you then draw out the map of what you think it looks like and see how accurate it is. I don't know who would ever do this, because this sounds very not fun, basically. But, I remembered this because there was illustrations, and the first step is have a friend build a city out of blocks. And the picture just showed, like, these two kids, and one of them was black. This is not important, but I made note of it anyway. And the black friend was building, like, this large, complicated structure out of blocks. And I just, for some reason, my exaggeration, like, that's what this always turns into, is it's just, like, there will be something stupid and, unimportant from my childhood that I'll just remember in a stupid way. And so it turned into, have your black friend build a city out of blocks, and then it turned into have your only black friend make a city out of blocks, and then it was force them to build a city out of blocks. Because they don't want to do it, but who else is going to do it? You got to get them to do it. I don't know. Oh. I see Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap has shown up. My favorite Kirby character. Good. Now, in before, like, 35 comments, so we're just like, oh, it's so racist, I can't believe you'd say something like that. You can't force black people to do anything. I don't know. Nobody's actually going to leave these comments. I have been assured by the makers of this board. But, no, somebody will take issue with it if they want. And talked to my mom for 4 hours the other day while, what's the guy's name? While Dane Cook played Xbox, but no. I talked to her for a while, and there were a good number of racist statements made during that phone call. I will share all of them right now. No, I will not do that. These are conversations that should probably remain private. It wasn't even that bad. I'm making it sound worse than it was. It was racist, though. Alright, let's, I don't want to keep, Volcano here, so let's see, we can get Cutter and Fire makes Flame Sword, Cutter and Rock makes the statue ability, Cutter makes Cutter, Flame and Rock makes Volcano, so, yeah, we've seen all these. So, let's get Volcano back. No, let's not actually do that. I'll do Fire and Gordo. Or Fire and Sandwich. What would Fire and Sandwich make? Would it just be like a sandwich with way too much hot sauce on it? AKA any amount of hot sauce on it? We'll go with Flame Sword. I don't really like Flame Sword, but we'll use it anyway. I actually kind of really hate this ability. I find it cumbersome. I guess if you do the, like, throw attack, it's kind of useful, but I never remember the sequence of events that's necessary to do that. I could mix Spark with something. Spark and Fire is really lame, though. However, I do like me some Spark and Stone. Some beefages that I don't need. What the hell? It's just kind of a divot. Like the word divot. Yeah, go! This thing is cool. You can't tell me otherwise. Why are you all telling me otherwise? Why are you all saying that it's not cool? I disagree, and it makes me sad. Why have 700 people already told me that they don't like it, and that I'm a bad person for liking this ability? Why is this a personal attack? What is happening right now? I'm going to quit the internet and just do something with turquoise. Yeah. No. I might be a little bit weird sometimes. Okay. I wanted to see if I could fall down there. Oh, my ability! It's okay, it sucked anyway, according to the internet. Nobody ever told me it was a bad ability, for the record. I'm just making this up. I can say stupid things. Nobody can stop me. Is this a thing? This has got to be a thing. I can't tell if this is supposed to be, like, use the Volcano ability because it's rock and fire, and if it is, I'm going to be upset because I got rid of that. There's also 2 flames in the background, so it might just be, like, the double fire ability. Pictured here, the double fire, pictured here, me dying. Okay, let's test this theory. It's probably not the fire ability, but it could be. It could be very useful if I could teach the double fire ability, Fury Swipe. I don't know why I thought that would do something, but it needed to be tested anyway in the name of science. Okay, that did not do anything. This room has to have a purpose, but I don't know what it is. It's probably the freaking Volcano ability. So I'm going to have to go all the way back. I'm probably going to die. Shake, if you keep that damn sandwich around, you're going to eat it, and then you're going to die. God, that reminded me of the music from Vexing Volcano in Mega Bomberman for the Genesis. Except now I don't actually remember how that song goes. I just remember, do 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 do, ba 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 ba. It's like, I don't know. I remember like small chunks of it. I like Mega Bomberman. It is a game that exists. Alright, so we got Volcano. It's not going to be the thing I need. Then I'm going to be sad, and then I'm going to be shad. which is a character from Twilight Princess that was loosely used as the inspiration for the main character of Shattered Fate, which was a game that never really got out of the planning stages. I was going to have him make a cameo appearance in VA3, if that game ever gets out of the planning stages. Even though it has, but eh. Okay. What do you want me to do? I refuse to believe that this room doesn't have a point. I guess I'll come back to it. I don't know. Unless I'm supposed to get, like, one of those dancing enemies and, like, bring it in here somehow. Can you even do that? Is there an ability that makes me dance? And makes me prance? One of the weird kangaroo things from Mega Bomberman can dance. I think it's the pink one. Alright. The magma is seeping under the door. Your subscription to organic tofu... I forget what the fuck it was called. It was just this long string of stupid, like, hippie-sounding terms. Your subscription to this magazine is about to erupt. Am I gonna finish this level and have, like, one crystal from it? I don't even remember if I found one. I probably did. But, that can only be proven by either having a memory or going back in the video to check. And both of those are impossible for me. I can't put a patty on a bun. No. We still running from... Still running from hot stuff. Hot topic. You want to pee in a hot topic? Finally, release. Can we take a little bit more damage from things? Even though I've not really taken that much damage. Okay, well there's probably not another one in this room. Turns out there actually is. Sandwich. Have to get sandwich. Sandwich is important. Shrek is love, Shrek is life. The betting experts, where dreams come true. Open on Thursdays. Look at that, having a vertical ability actually helped. I guess we got away from the volcano safely enough. So, that was shards 1 and 3, right? No, that was only shard... What the fuck? What did I miss? Well, let's fight... Judging from this picture here, I'm thinking it's some kind of combination between, like, a Blarg from Yoshi's Island and, the Great Mighty Pooh. So let's, fight whatever this thing is. No, that's... Yeah, I think that was a fairly accurate assessment. We're going to literally fight fire with fire. And rock. And then people are like, oh, they're shaped like dicks. Okay, maybe only I was like that. Good boss. Oh my god, there's a second phase. I didn't realize it. Okay, this is very much a Blarg from Yoshi's Island. Or, like... It has, like, the same level of energy as the, was it Belcha the Barrel from DKC 3? Also, it's an Okay. Was that dodgeable? I like how I'm still fighting this with the Volcano ability. Or sorry, Volcano. Do I dodge that by just standing really close to it? Or am I missing something here? Oh shit, I'm gonna die. Surprisingly, yes. Look at that, I'm learning things again. I have successfully beaten Anne boss without Anne death. Who is Anne? Who is this Anne I keep talking about? Is it Anne Perkins? I don't like Rashida Jones, so it's probably not Anne Perkins. I don't know why I don't like her, she just annoys me. Or more accurately, her characters annoy me. I can't believe Waddle Dee fucking died. So, anyway, this is Earth. Pretty sweet Earth, you might say. Round. And then Mars is laughing at us, and some huge meteor is like, well, fuck that. But anyway, yeah, I should go back and finish this level. Not going to.